Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to react to a recent video I came across of actress Cynthia Nixon. She's an actress in Sex and the City, and she's talking about why it's important to her that children are given access to gender-affirming care. There were some protests recently due to Trump's executive orders.
Right now.
Tonight, President Donald Trump continues to make strides towards fulfilling his campaign promises.
Since taking office more than a week ago, he's now taken several actions focusing on transgender people. One executive order defines sex in federal matters as only male or female, while not recognizing transgender, non-binary, or intersex people, or the idea that gender can be fluid.
Another order bans transgender military members. Trump enacted this ban before in 2017, but President Biden later repealed it in 2021.
A third order cuts federal support for gender transitions for anyone under the age of 19. It also directs that federally run insurance programs exclude coverage for such medical care. The order states that the U.S. will not fund, sponsor, promote, assist, or support the so-called transition of a child from one sex to another, and it will rigorously enforce all laws that prohibit or limit these destructive and life-altering procedures. It argues that kids are too impressionable to make this kind of decision, so it is one they will later regret and cannot reverse.
And the majority of people will consider that an act that protects children. When they are adults, they can decide what they want to do with their bodies, but until they're able to consent, they need to be left alone and not subjected to physical and chemical castration. I think any normal person would agree. However, Hollywood and the likes of such are still intent on normalizing these barbaric acts, these barbaric crimes against children.
Advocates for transgender rights demonstrating against NYU-Langone Health in Murray Hill. Protesters say the hospital is now denying children gender-affirming care following President Trump's executive order aimed at curtailing federal funding for such treatments.
Trans children need health care. They need to have access to health care, both mental and medical, that they need to survive.
Hundreds of trans rights supporters marching down First Avenue in front of the hospital. Only a handful of demonstrators opposing them showed up with signs.
This is going to kill people. This is a matter of life and death. I know it was my experience as a teenager. It's the experience of so many.
New York Attorney General Letitia James also reacting. She sent this letter telling hospitals that they would be violating state law if they stop offering gender-affirming care for people under 19 in response to President Trump's executive order. NYU-Langone told me they have no comment on the Attorney General's letter.
Law versus executive order. The law should win. The problem here is it's the power of the purse. And the hospitals may say, all right, wait a minute. Where's our bigger problem? Not getting the money or breaking the law?
You can see this as an emotional issue for families and for voters across this country. Look for the next fight in this battle to be waged in the courtroom.
Now I want to react to this video. She gives a little speech, and what she reveals is absolutely shocking. But in her circles, I guess, clearly it has been normalized, and that's what they want for the rest of us, but we're not having it. So the full extent at which she speaks about children having access to medications and procedures that permanently alter their bodies, children having access to procedures that involve cutting off healthy body parts, the way she speaks about it, like it's, you know, children playing soccer. My kid plays soccer. My sister's kid plays soccer. My friend's children play soccer. NYU has long been known for its trans-friendly policies, as it has been recognized as an LGBTQ+ healthcare equality leader by the Human Rights Campaign Foundation for 10 consecutive years in a row, according to its website. So Cynthia's child came out as transgender in 2018, so they refer to her child as her son. But this person is in fact female and has already had procedures done to transition. During Monday's protest, Nixon spoke about how Samuel had top surgery done at NYU a number of years ago. So they cancelled appointments for two 12-year-old children. One of the children had been due to have a small device which would release a puberty-blocking medication called Startling, LA, implanted into the upper arm on Thursday. The father told The Times that his child's doctor blamed the inability to proceed on the new administration and suggested he try calling other hospital systems in New York or a hospital in Philadelphia that he recommended. The second 12-year-old child was scheduled to have the same procedure on Friday. The mother told The Times that she was only informed of the cancellation on Wednesday, one day after the executive order was issued. So the medical team told this mother that they were awaiting more guidance. Around 3% of teenagers in New York State between the ages of 13 to 17 identify as transgender, the largest percentage of transgender youth in the US, as it's nearly twice the national average, according to the New York Times.
Most importantly, I am here today as the mother of a proud trans man. I am here today as the aunt of a proud trans man. My best friend's kid is trans, and my kid's best friend is trans.
I don't even know what to say. So you got two women who happen to have trans kids, two sisters who happen to have trans kids, and your best friend kid is trans and their friends are trans. You can't tell me that there isn't a social contagion element to this insanity. It happens to be in woke New York City as well. It's unbelievable how they're talking about something that is so drastically life-altering, as if it's nothing, as if it's a normal routine procedure that every kid should have access to. So many of these celebrities all seem to have children who identify as trans suddenly. Ben Affleck's daughter, for example, Charlize Theron, who adopted kids from Africa. They come here and they end up being trans, and these people want this to be the standard. But thankfully, that is not going to be the case, because the regular folks said, hold on a minute, no, Hollywood is not going to be the standard for me, that's for sure.
My wife and I, our lives are filled with the most amazing, beautiful, brave, trans people, young and old, but especially young.
That didn't sit well with me, but especially young. Like they're specifically looking out for the children. Well, they're not really looking out for the children. They're preying on the children, if you ask me. These people are preying on children, sowing the seeds of doubt, telling them that they could be born in the wrong body, filling these kids' heads with lies. Where did the kids even get this concept from to now come out as trans to their parents? Because their best friend is trans. Their cousin is trans. As ridiculous as it sounds, it's catching on. And when this is over, when people wake up and realize what they endorsed and what has been done to our children, it will be the biggest travesty in recent history. And all of this is forever on the wrong side of history are people like this.
My trans kid had his top surgery at NYU a number of years ago. His doctors were fantastic. His surgeon was the best we could have imagined. And the idea that the city is filled with young people who thought they had a place to go where they could receive the highest care, and that place has now been shut to them, sickens me to my core. So I want to say the last 2 weeks have been an assault, a barrage, so many horrific things coming at us from every direction. You don't even know where to look or how to try and block the horror that is coming in our direction.
That's absolutely horrible to hear. Hearing of young girls cutting off their healthy breasts, having double mastectomies for cosmetic purposes, to look more like a boy. That is barbaric. But these people can't see it for some reason, or they can see it and they don't care. Bragging about having the best care, that's not care. That's not care. But you see how privileged they sound as well. The best surgeon. It's as if detransitioners do not exist. Well, I'll tell you something, in as much passion you seem to talk about trans people being visible, well, detransitioners are visible and they exist and their voices have been heard. But they've had something taken away from them that they can never get back. And it's up to the adults to apply some common sense and to leave these kids alone. Let them grow into who they are. That's never going to change. They're always going to be male. They're always going to be female.
But since the inauguration, and I would say actually since the election, nothing has made me feel so good as coming around the corner today and seeing you all standing here fighting for trans rights. We're being attacked on so many fronts. It is so hard to know where and how to react first. But today I know this is where I'm planting my flag. And I want to tell the people of NYU, as I told you, I just live a few blocks away. You're going to be seeing a lot of me. A lot of this amazing crowd of people, and there are a lot of people here today, and we are mad as hell. But as many people as are here today, it is vitally important that we come back again and again and again, and our size grows. Because what is happening all over this country, it cannot happen in New York. Here is where we have to take a stand. We love New York. New York is better than this. NYU should be better than this. Shame, and thank you all for being here. We must return again and again until this crime is reversed.
Wow, crime. Crime. Looking out for the interests of our children is a crime to her. Nobody's rights has been taken away. Absolutely disingenuous to even imply that. Nobody's rights have been taken away since the election. Sane people don't agree to this, subjecting kids to this. Actress brags about having her daughter's breasts removed. People like this can never let go of the trans agenda. She's committed to it for life. If she ever let it go, she would have to admit that she horrifically abused and mutilated her own child. Quote, "My kids are trans. My sister's kids are trans. Every kid I know is trans. What are the odds that she's normal and we are all crazy?" I'm so glad those procedures were cancelled. 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds. Would be permanently stunted by being given these medications that will ensure they don't grow and develop. I think it's even harder on girls. It's bad for any kid. I don't think any kid should be subjected to this. But the procedure the girls have to go through, it's just that little bit more sick. Even just seeing what they do to their arms is bad enough. To do what, I do not know, because what they end up doing, that is not what they think it is, obviously. It's just nothing but mutilation. I don't mean to be graphic, but and the medications, the hormones that they put them on is bad enough. Not to mention the fact that they're not even aware of the long-term implications. Issues with their bone density, for example, taking away their ability to go on to have children, to go on to have families of their own. I don't see how anybody can justify that. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.